What's up, farming family? How y'all doing today? Today, we are checking out the 11SIX24 Monarch Jelly Bean and the Monarch Control. I'm going to do the all court separate than these because I feel like it's more different than these two are. But I have a code for this company for 10% off. It's Farmer PB. I do get a kickback if you use my code. But yeah, these paddles are wide body. They have a little bit longer handle than all the other wide bodies on the market. But yeah, let's get into all the specs, how they feel, all the stuff you actually care about instead of me just running my mouth for a long intro. First thing I want to talk about with these paddles is the pop. Okay, the Jelly Bean and the Control both feel a little bit stiffer in the face compared to the Volair. And I think both of them have more pop than the Volair. The only difference between the Control and the Jelly Bean is the feel. It feels stiffer coming off of the face of the Kevlar, but in terms of pop, they are very, very, very similar. I kept switching between them, and I couldn't tell enough of a difference to be able to tell you. Now, in terms of power, both of them felt a little more powerful than, the Spartus Apollo, the Volair Mach 2, and the Pickle Hurricane Pro paddles. Now, I don't think that they had the power that the R2 Pulsar FX has. I believe it's right down below them, but it does have more power than the Apollo and all the other paddles I just mentioned. And I'm referring to both the Control and the Jelly Bean, and the power was so similar with that as well that I would be splitting hairs if I try to decide which one was better, to be honest. Now, in terms of Control, I said they both have very similar pop and very similar power. Now, what's going to change in terms of Control is how they feel off the face. If you're someone who likes a stiffer feeling face, due to the Kevlar in the Control version, you might like how it feels when you're, playing the Control game and thinking and dropping. But if you want something that feels a little more plush and not as rigid coming off the paddle face, you might be able to control the Jelly Bean better. It just kind of depends on what feel you like when it comes to the paddle face. When it came to the spin, the Jelly Bean got 1911. The Control got 2006 RPMs. These two are in the top 10 or top 15 out of all the paddles that I've tested. You're not going to have a problem with the spin. If you want a good wide body paddle with a little bit longer handle, this is a good option for you because you're not going to be lacking in spin. You're going to get, in my opinion, you're going to get enough pop and power to be able to do what you're going to want to do. Now, I would say, if you get up to the pro level or the 5.5s, it might not be enough, but then you've got pro players using, Vatic prisms and stuff. So in terms of spin, no problems here. I don't know why I'm rambling. Let's just go to the next section. When it came to the Monarch Control, the swing weight was 111 and it weighed 8.2 ounces. The Jelly Bean had a swing weight of 107 and was 7.9 ounces. So basically, what you're going to get is, if you're wanting something that is slightly easier to swing at the kitchen, but you're still wanting the same amount of pop and power or something very similar, I would go with the Jelly Bean. But if you like the feel of Kevlar faces and you don't mind the slightly higher swing weight, I would probably go with the Control. So it kind of depends on what you like, which is, you're going to hear me say it throughout the whole time. It's mostly feel is what's going to change depending on which one of these paddles you want. The twist weight of the Jelly Bean was 7.06, and for the Control, it was 7.38. Okay, anything over the 7-point range is crazy, crazy good. There's no reason for it to be twisting in your hands at all. And usually they're already stable enough to where you don't have to add lead tape unless you're just wanting to add plow through to your wide body paddles. Because that's generally why you would put some on there. Because they're already crazy stable. And in terms of sweet spot, these paddles are really, really forgiving. Most wide bodies are. If you hit them anywhere other than the sweet spot directly in the middle, you're going to get still a decent amount of output off the ball from the paddle face versus an elongated or something like that where you have to be a little more accurate about hitting it directly in the middle. That's why I'm recommending wide bodies to a majority of players right now, because I feel like they are more forgiving for mishits. And let's be real, players like me and maybe you mishit the ball a decent amount. All right, the Control is $150. The Jelly Bean is $100. $100. Yeah, straight up. Okay, I said that both of these paddles feel very, very, very similar in terms of the pop, the power, the control. The only difference is how the paddle or the ball feels hitting the paddle face to the user. Like if you're a Kevlar person, you might like the control, even though it's $50 more. But if you don't, I'm going to recommend 99% of the people get the Jelly Bean. It's one of the best priced paddles in pickleball right now. It plays crazy good for its price range. It could easily be a $150, $160 paddle. I would get that. Unless I'm like a crazy Kevlar person and I'm jumping on that Kevlar craze, and then I would get the control. But everyone else, just get the Jelly Bean and don't be juggling the idea of which one you want, because financial wise, $100, dude, that's hard to beat. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Keep an eye out for my all-court review. It's going to be coming out really soon. I don't exactly have a date on that. I've been sort of crammed full of paddles and trying to get everything done all at once. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you've played with both of these paddles, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of them. I'm always curious. Hey, you guys could see pop completely differently than me. You could see the Jelly Bean being a lot softer and not having nowhere near as much pop as the control, or vice versa. But yeah, until next time, stay safe. Have a good day. Drink plenty of water. Peace, y'all.